Well, good morning everyone. Sunday morning, it's about 8 o'clock. It's time to, everything is all really nice and beautifully dry. And today we're going to do some quick sanding to prepare for our next coating to hit these seams. We're going to start with the ceiling. We're going to use a palm sander, and this thing does a good job. I get a really old piece of sandpaper, so I don't have a lot of grit that's going to be digging in. And just to give an example, I did a spot over here. And I turn that off just so you can hear for a second, but I'm going to run over these boards. You can see there's a little bit of goo that dropped on them. You can see this thing with a very fine grit, like a 200 grit sandpaper, knocks it down really quick. Some people hand sand, but I believe if you have the if you got the sander and you have good technique, and that just gets that smooth as a baby's bottom. So we'll be able to roll over the ceiling in about an hour or so, and then give it a good smooth coating, and then sand that down, and we'll see what we get at that point. So let's get cracking today. This is the finishing part, beginning of drywall. I'm going to have a shower cap on. I'm going to have a respirator, and I'm going to have some safety glasses because I don't want all that stuff going into my lungs and into my eyes. Be safe, okay? I thought I'd take a minute just to show you the rig. I got the shower cap on, all the hair tucked in. I've got the glasses on, and I'll wear the respirator tucked in underneath of the glasses. That way I'm not breathing in any stuff, and I'm protecting my eyes. So let's cut the bullshit. Let's get on to finishing some drywall. The ceiling is done. I look like I work at the Pillsbury Flour Factory, huh? Just like that, the ceiling is all done. I tell you, using the power sander really helps a lot. So, you know, yeah, it's great. I think I'll go ahead now and I'll catch the walls doing the same thing. Probably take a half hour to knock them out, and then we're ready to skim coat the drywall. I don't know if we'll get to that today, but what that's going to do is we're going to take some of this drywall mud, and it's going to be a different consistency. And I don't know where in the heck my bucket went, but it's going to be, yeah, here it is. It's going to be a different consistency. Right now it's really a thick consistency, and you can see I've used a hell of a lot so far. Almost 62 pounds of it. And what I'm going to do is mix that with some water so I have a very thin, like slurry. And I'm going to take the tray, and not so much that one, but this one, and I'm going to grab some of it. I'm going to use the trough, the drywall trough, fill that all up and be up on the ladder. and then use the drywall trowel here, the thin bladed one, and go ahead and put a very thin coat starting on one side and working down, keeping a wet edge, and that's going to fill everything in and make it ultra smooth and giving a level 5 finish. Okay, so yeah, I have to get back to the flower factory now. Right, everybody, I told you it was going to get messy, guys, but it was messy with I'm a raccoon, right? It was messy with a purpose. The reason why I sand down after that, you know, got a couple coats of mud up on the joints and things. The reason I want to sand it down is when I get this skim coat put on, and this is what really makes a level 5 finish. You know, I could actually go ahead and prime and paint now, but it wouldn't be to the standard I like to have. But if I knock this down and sand it real good and then put a thin application of drywall on, it's really mixed probably 30% water and 70% drywall, there'll be nothing for the trowel to get hung up on here. There's no high spots, there's nothing that's going to cause the trowel to jump and skip, so it's going to go over real smoothly. And while I was at it, I knocked off the walls too, but you can see the result is a lot of dust, and that's just the way it goes. It's part of what makes doing drywall kind of a drag. But I'll go ahead and brush the ceiling. I may actually go ahead now and trim out the windows today. You can see I have some stuff to do there, and maybe pop on that corner edge, or maybe I'll go ahead and skim coat the ceiling just to have that done, and then eventually skim coat the walls. They'll be sanded down, and then go back and catch the windows. I guess you'll just have to wait and see today. A skim coat, surprise! First we got to thin down our mud a lot. Got our stir here. Ooh. Doesn't take a lot to stir that. All right. You can see the consistency of that now. That's going to trowel on real good, and it's going to fill in all the impressions and everything. Clean that off a little bit. Whoa! I love that. All right, let's get in there and let's get cracking on this. We got our thing of mud. Yeah, I like the consistency, the spreadability of that is going to be awesome. Pardon me, I got a little bit of goo on the lens, huh? Go get that off, and then what I'm going to do too, take my mud pan here, and this is really nice to get up on a ladder and hold it. And I'm going to use a nice, wide trowel here. And I'm going to hit that real good. So let's get going for level 5 finish, which is the best that you can get. This is going to, thin composition of drywall mud is going to fill in any depressions or low spots. I want to get this application on and then call it a day. Okay, you can see that I have the mud pan here and I have the trowel. All I do is grab some of the pretty liquidy mud and just pull across. Don't worry about that little ridges and stuff like that. It'll all come good. Make sure to get your corners good. And what this does is fill and make everything incredibly level. Not many people go to this level of finishing. It's level 5, but I really like it. It's the difference between a drywall job and a first-class drywall job. Yeah, this is why you definitely want me doing your job, right? So it goes on pretty fast. We're almost done back corner, I grab the wings out here, the upper part of the vaulted wings here. And then we'll come back later and get the lower part of the wings. I'm doing a real nice smooth curve there in the top part. And it really looks fantastic. This is going to smooth down like this will be glass when it's ready to be primed and painted. It's going to be fantastic. So keep rolling along here. Keep skim coating. A lot of stuff drops off on the floor. Don't worry. Wear your old bomber clothes. And none of that is going to even matter in the scheme of things. But yeah, it's not the cleanest work in the world, but it's very satisfying. Okay, so we're going to finish this off. Oh, totally messy day, I know, but what a day to just get stuff done. You can see the skim coating that I did on the ceiling, and when that is totally dry, it's going to be opaque, and it's going to be white, and that ceiling and those joints are so smooth now that when that does totally dry, you're going to have a really difficult time finding the seams. So I feel kind of ambitious today. I'm not sure. It's getting on about 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Sunday. Been a long weekend, and I'm half tempted to skim coat all the walls too and get that done. So Wednesday we'll be able to just sand, and it's ready for priming and painting. I'm going to get something to drink, and then I will make that decision. But you can see the beautiful job that skim coating does. It just puts everything all on one level. You just do a very liquidy mud drywall compound. You put about 3 cups of water for a quart of, for about 5 pounds of the mud. And you stir it in there real good, and you get a nice slurry, and you just apply that, and that fills in all the depressions and low spots. It's fantastic. Well, I must be a glutton for punishment, because I'm going ahead and I'm skim coating the whole thing. I got the walls, about 1/3 of the walls done and the whole ceiling done. Might as well just sell out today and get it done. So on with the show. As bad as it gets, guys, this has turned into a freaking death march this afternoon. I am determined to get all these walls. I already did the ceiling and got that skim coated. I've got 2/3 of the walls done now, and I'm just coming around in the home stretch. I got this section here, and boy, this is the hardest day of work I ever had. But if you want to get a good finish on drywall, some days you just got to sell out. You just got to do what you got to do, and skim coating is the bomb. I hate it today. You can see what the floor looks like here. It is just a mess. This is like a war zone out here, but a month from now we'll be laughing about it, right? All right, on with the show. Well, you can see, guys, the proof of the day on me. It was a hell of a day. It was a hell of a battle. I am glamorous. I am gorgeous. I have been working on the Rancho 2.5 years, and by far, this was the hardest day of work that I ever put in. Who knew that scraping a trail across the drywall and skim coating would be so much work? Well, I did, because I did it in the house, but I never did so much in one day. And you'll look around and see the ceiling is almost opaque now as that dries. And by the time everything is done drying around the room, you'll have a very difficult time finding the seams, and that's exactly why we skim coat, because it makes an ultra smooth finish. The last thing I figure I'll do tomorrow night when I come home from work is catch these wings. That should take about an hour. And the raised sections there, the 25-degree angles, and we should be good to go. Look, it's brutal skim coating. It is a lot of work. Stuff's dropping on you. You can see the floor. You can see the mess. But believe me, when it's sanded down and it's painted, you kick your feet up, you have a beer, and you're going to be happier than a pig of shit that you did stuff the right way and skim coated it. That's what's called finishing to a level 5 finish with a skim coat. Ultra smooth, the highest standard of drywall finish. Okay, it's been a death march today, but it's over. Now it's time to get washed up, have a beer, get glamorous, and do a few uploads. All right, everybody, thanks for being along. The biggest day of work on the Rancho ever.